All right, hello, Cheerskevin here, and welcome back to AstroBlock. And unfortunately, what you're hearing is not the voice that is of me in the video. Right now, I would be explaining to you that I crafted some more spacesuit parts because on the moon we discovered, hey, radiation is a thing that we have to care about again. And hey, this stuff recharges now wirelessly because of our flux network. So why not just use that instead of diamond armor? And I think some of you have mentioned that it's stronger than diamond armor anyway. So why haven't we been doing this? I also went through and built up the arsenal of things, including the off-requested fluxomagnet, and yeah, just the rest of these little tools to get that taken care of. Managed to upgrade the Dank Null. Finally, we managed to get enough emeralds to upgrade our Dank Null to the final tier. And I have set up a little machine here that is basically just taking another sifter, getting a bunch of redstone out of it, and then dropping it into lava to create flux, using another vacuumulator to pull that flux out, because I wanted to continue increasing our flux network. Now, there are some actual little pieces from RF tools. One will detect if there's something in the dropper. One is a little clock. It's a timer. And then there's one that's just sort of an AND gate. So if you get signal, if there's something in the dropper, then the clock pulse comes out so that we continue to drop stuff into the lava. So, because I was tired of having to chuck stuff into to do that so that we could automate all that. But yeah, as I mentioned, this is not the voice of, you're not hearing this live. In fact, I'm doing this after the fact. I went through and tried to trim up based on where I had been talking in the video, but the audio quality is terrible. Every so often, I don't know why. I think it's a Windows thing. Every so often, you just get you get this crackly, robot-y terribleness, and yeah, it wasn't going to suit. But of course, with a progression pack like this, you don't want to be like, oh yeah, you missed an episode. But here's basically what happened. Especially today, because we're going to the moon. It's very, very exciting. And so yeah, what you're getting is fresh. I'm trying to yeah. So I think I'm explaining that I upgraded our flux network to something gargantuan. And now I'm eating potatoes because that's just something that I'm doing for some reason. Okay, so we're talking about basic machinery. We're talking about at some point we're going to go to the moon here. But oh yeah, but we wanted to craft a moon buggy on the way to the moon. And of course, you need the workbench schematic to do that. So that means we have to craft the launch controller. And we just. Yeah, I mean, we've got to do it so that we can get through. Now, it turns out the launch controller actually requires a fair bit of dash ingots. Now, for some reason, I think we started out with 8 dash ingots, or we may have gotten them as a reward very early game, but we used like 3 of them to craft a pickaxe back when we didn't know any better. So we have just barely the requirement to get that done. We have just 5 in there, and thankfully, one of them compresses to make 2 of the compressed dash. So we have just barely enough to get that done, and then we can craft the moon buggy. Now, it turns out, we'll discover in time that you don't technically need the moon buggy on the moon. But, you know, it was nice, and it was nice to experiment with, and we can drive around in it, and, you know, why wouldn't you want a moon buggy? Oh, yeah. And I'm sharing with you that I have a transporter now. And I think I may be mentioning at this point that we have the tier 1 transporter, and this cannot transport across dimensions, but if we upgrade it, it can, and that's something that we'll definitely get into in the next episode. Weirdly enough, I recorded the next episode directly after this, and the audio there is fine. This is made up of like 3 separate clips, all of which are bad, and then I have one long take after that, and it's fine. So who knows? Who knows why that happens? But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna craft that up, and then of course I'm gonna sit here and fight a little bit with this network, and yeah, we'll craft the basic thing that we need, and then go ahead and craft the thing again. Get our launch controller, get that quest completed. And yeah, I should also apologize because my voice is going. Unfortunately, the kiddo is sick has been sick, and I think I think I'm finally coming down with it. So we're gonna see. Now, weirdly enough, you should also be getting some of the actual game audio. Because that records on a separate channel because it's weird. But anyway, okay, so we're gonna craft up. Well, we need to craft up some blocks of iron, and then we need to craft up. Yeah, the buggy fueling pad, because the buggy fueling pad runs on fuel the same way that our rockets do, which makes it, I don't know, at some point I get a little disillusioned with it, because, I mean, why do we, I assumed it was an RF-based thing, but then, yeah, I mean, we've got to load it up the same way, and, I mean, that's just a little inconvenient. But yeah, I've been upgrading our flux network, because we have obsidian automatically generating, we have the ender pearls automatically generating, and then we also have then I showed you the little flux system that's generating redstone for us and getting all this. So we're looking now at the recipe for the buggy discovering that we need some cowhide, so I'm probably going to steal. I don't remember what I left in here and what I cut out. I'm very professional here. I'm going to go ahead and steal some. I think I steal some rotten flesh from the farm. By the way, the lag actually seems to have cleared up with the farm. Now, could be that our igneous extruder, which is the thing that produces. Oh no, I think we can craft zombie flesh from the materials. Maybe. What are we doing? What is? Gosh, okay, it's frustrating watching me because I can't even intuit sometimes what I'm doing. Yeah, okay, so I'm just going over and explaining the recipes like a good little thoughtful person, trying to talk you through what I'm going to do. Yeah, I don't think I end up showing this on camera. I think I'm just walking you through, here are the recipes, and that's what we do. Oh yeah, and okay, apparently there we go, a rough cut, a really weird cut. Gosh, okay, and we throw that in there. We unlock the schematic for the moon buggy. There we go. Good job. And then Astrominer, Cargo Rocket, Moon Buggy. And we can go ahead and throw in those buggy wheels. And I think at some point I may realize, if I don't realize now, then I'll realize when we craft a new rocket, and not in this episode, but that you can shift click and it will just plop the things right into place, which is very convenient. And do I not have... yeah, okay, I realized I was one wheel shy. So pro. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Shift click and it all goes into the right place. Amazing. Okay, so there we go. We have the buggy and we are ready now to go to the moon, which is great news. So let's go to there. Now, the goal is to get ourselves the Tier 2 rocket schematic. We need to find that in a Mooner dungeon. And we got the dungeon compass, which is it looks like a regular compass. You'll see it in the inventory there. It's just got a yellow needle. And this will point, it's a creative only item, but I guess it's in here because they want you to be able to find the dungeons easily. Yeah, this will basically, we'll go down, we'll fight some evil stuff, and we'll get ourselves a Tier 2 schematic, hopefully. Although, what are we even doing? What is this? Oh yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just steal our fuel loader because we know we're gonna need it for the moon buggy. And then probably we're gonna steal some fuel maybe as well. Maybe that's what we're gonna do. Man, director's commentaries are amazing. But yeah, okay, so fuel loader, yep, stare at the fuel loader, very important. And yep, just stare there. There you go. Look. Oh my gosh, fuel, how beautiful. And okay, what are we? I think I'm going to get a fuel bucket is what's happening. Oh, okay, nope, I'm just going to cut away for some reason. I'm turning on my flexomagnet because I remembered at one point I had this extracting over here. And yeah, it's not extracting over there. I think if I set up a mechanism pipe to do that, it would, but I didn't, and didn't know what was going on. But now the amazing thing is if I break this, the magnet ensures that it's not going to go randomly flying off into space. So hooray for that! We finally have the magnet. But we also grabbed all of the fuel just that way, which is nice and convenient of us. Can we go to the moon yet, please? Let's go to the moon. Come on. Why are we? No, you don't need the workbench anymore. You don't need any of this. What are we even doing? Okay. Moon, workbench schematic. Oh, yeah, because once we get the Tier 2 workbench schematic, we will unlock the research paper that will allow us to discover Mars and the 2 moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos, in the telescope, which is very important for moving forward and boldly on and whatnot. Yeah, okay, so I was talking a little bit about the... Oh, yeah, okay. And yeah, we can just swap that out and go to the moon. Please go to the moon. Please, please, please. Please go to the moon. Please don't be going to Earth. Yes, okay, we're on the moon. It's working. We've got enough oxygen coming in with the 2 collectors and then the 2 sealers because I think it's enough blocks that it needs the 2 sealers. And if we jump up there, then we're just going to set up. Now, one thing is because I think I may have mentioned this the last time briefly when we were talking about the base, is that we the glass is not hardened, and because there are evolved creepers here, we have to be a little mindful of that. It'd be trivially easy to destroy this base. There is it's not bulletproof glass. There's like a sealed hardened. It's probably a hardened glass, which is available as well. Although it doesn't look as nice, and so I said, why bother? And of course, I put the fuel canister in the battery slot because when you shift click things into those, it puts them in the battery slot for whatever reason. We go, hey, is this fueling up? And then nope, it's saying no fuel load. So when is he going to realize? Battery slot. It says battery slot. It says okay, thank you. So we've emptied out all of our fuel. And there we go, another rough cut into the buggy, and we're going to go ahead and drive around to this thing. And this is a nice cool thing. And we're going to follow. So the dungeon locator, I think, doesn't work on the overworld, because I think there aren't these crazy dungeons in the overworld. I could be wrong, though. It could be something that's different with the mod pack. And of course, why do you do this? Why are you... Okay, just going to drive off into a crater. It's been, I should mention, it's been probably 5 days, between 3 and 5 days since I recorded this. I barely remember anything anymore. I have the memory of a goldfish. Okay, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to drive vaguely in the direction the compass is pointing. I mean, I think mostly I'm just trying to not run into craters now. But this thing does handle nice, so that's at least something. If it wasn't gas-powered, it'd be great. And there we go. We discover that there is a little alien village. Sorry, spoilers. A village occupied by who's to say, right? And so I go ahead and I hop off. You have to hit shift to hop off. It's just like a boat in that way. And there we go. We go looking around going, hey, is this sealed? And of course it's not sealed. There's empty holes in the middle of all of these domes. So why would you think it would be sealed? I do like that it's these rounded domes, though, because that's realistic, because, you know, those are better pressure vessels. And, of course, now, because they have a little... I'm starting to get a little nervous. I'm like, are they hostile to me? I don't really know. I mean, they look like villagers. Why am I so paranoid? But I'm afraid to click them for some reason. Do I... why do... Okay, put the sword away. We don't need to... Okay, no, the gun isn't an... Okay, so there we go. Now we discover, hey, if we give them a lunar sapphire, we could actually get some oxygen out here. That would be nice. So cool. We can trade with the alien villagers for some basic galactic craft supplies, which would be nice. But of course, this isn't what we're looking for. We are looking for the dungeon. And you can see the oxygen is ticking down a little bit, and our radiation is ticking up a little bit, though not as fast now that we actually have a spacesuit on. And we will continue to do that and continue to upgrade that over time. We've had the... privilege of being able to ignore a fair amount of the Galacticraft stuff. A little bit of lag spike there. Being able to ignore a fair bit of stuff just based on the fact that we were doing so much stuff in the overworld. And I think I may mention at some point in this... What am I even doing? Oh, I've discovered it. There may have been a cut in there that I missed. I'm watching this and I managed to miss that. Okay, I just went past a whole other ore. I found this moon cheese ore. I remember that, but yeah, okay, watching this back, there was an ore above there that we didn't grab at all. Who knows what those are for? We'll find out. But yeah, now we're going into this cavern, and I don't know what to expect. I know that there is a boss at the end, but I don't know what exactly we are dealing with. It does. This reminds me of the old like Duke Nukem and Doom and all of those. I don't remember. I played most of the floppy disk demos back when I was very little, so I don't even remember what most of them were. And at some point I'm going to realize, oh, there are spawners. Yeah, so there we go. Maybe get rid of those. Maybe that will help. And then I go, oh, it's all fixed. Nope, it's not. There's one more spawner right over there. Yeah. Evolve spiders. Cool. I do like that they spawn with the headgear. It's very fancy. I'm trying to keep this lit up. I don't know why those torches, why are those torches even there? Like they're just burnt out torches because they can't, but okay. And yeah, partially filled oil canister. Yeah, most of this does not seem hugely useful. Yeah, okay. I don't even remember. I feel like it's hard doing this because I'm trying to respond to what's going on. I also shouldn't just sit here complaining. Oh, my job is difficult. I don't know what to do. But it is. It's challenging because I'm trying to keep this interesting, but then also paying attention to what's going on here. And then I completely forget where I'm at because my memory of a goldfish, as I said once before. So yeah, I'm grabbing some of the food because hey, the tin is nice. The tin canisters are parts of recipes for everything. And yeah, we're just going through here, trying to clear this thing out. And I think this is honestly a pretty easy dungeon based just on the fact that I didn't die in a miserable, horrible death because, I mean, that's kind of my go-to move. Those of you who've been watching this whole series will know that combat is not necessarily my best thing. And of course, I'm getting nervous a little bit about the number of spiderwebs in here because it can be a little iffy, but okay, we can... I mean, you had time. The zombie was caught there. You didn't need to... Okay, we got that one. And I think we actually get this one before anything else is able to spawn. Go us! We're amazing. Yeah, if nothing else, this dungeon does wonders for my confidence. And I keep expecting one of these to be trapped or to at least have something decent in it. But yeah, cheese curds. I mean, that's something, right? Tasty. Okay. Oh yeah, no, that's what I was saying. I've been having difficulty trying to decide, like, do we try and make our asteroid base the proper base, or do we try and make... I think I want to make little bases everywhere. Oh, okay. So there we go. We go in, we start fighting this big boss, and it says, don't leave the boss room while fighting. Re-enter the room to respawn the boss. So we go, okay, Fair enough. Do I actually eat? Oh my gosh, I'm smart enough. I eat because I realize that I'm not at full saturation. So we actually take the time to try and properly not level ourselves, but prepare ourselves. We can see there's a chest in the back there that we should hopefully be able to open once we have defeated this boss. So go ahead and and of course he picks us up, and then we'll try and throw us at this lava, which can be. I feel like if it wasn't as gated, as well fenced in as it is, it could be a lot more dangerous. This could be a much more difficult fight, but plus we've got a phaser, which makes our lives a lot easier. Let's be honest. We do have to let it have its cooldown. Because it gets overheated, but still, like the phaser's amazing. Okay, and just about done. Let this thing die. 300 hit points, and it is gone. And I'm still shooting at it because I didn't quite realize that it's spinning around, doing its little happy dance. Beautiful. All right, and so we get a whole bunch of experience for that, and we get a key. I hope I realize we get the key. Did we? No, we're lighting stuff up just in case. Just like with the Lost City stuff, we want to make sure that once we defeated stuff, it doesn't go, oh, well, now it's dark and we can spawn under normal rules. It says, okay, probably need a tier 1 dungeon key, and we have one of those in our inventory. We picked it up from that boss, and there we go. And I get very upset because that's a moon buggy schematic. That's not a tier 2 schematic at all. Oh no. And at this point, I think I cut this out. But I spent probably not an hour, but like riding around in the moon buggy, trying to find another dungeon, just trying to get the compass to point in a different direction, but doesn't. And finally, I realized that you can trade with alien villagers. You can trade them a moon buggy thing plus some sapphires to get a tier 2 rocket. So I start to wonder, well, that sounds nice and all. These are the emeralds of the aliens. And so we need to figure out what they want, so what we can trade with them to get the lunar sapphires, because I think I did check and there wasn't necessarily a recipe for that. But yeah, you can trade either way. So whichever you get, you can trade it back and forth. And it turns out, for whatever reason, they want a whole bunch of jungle saplings. So who am I to deny them that? I can just go back to the station and get a bunch of jungle sapling seeds that we happen to have gotten back when we were sieving a whole bunch of dirt way back in the day. And yeah, get myself a good 100 of those. And we head back to the moon. Oh man, it's such a different game going back and forth between all these dimensions and stuff. We're getting more less adventure mappy and a lot more sky blocky. And it's cool. It's fun. So there we go. I'm finding. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. We're done. We've got the tier 2 rocket schematic. Hooray for us. We've got that done. Is the video over? I don't know. It's hard. I don't remember where we ended this. I'm kidding. I went back. I mean, I did cut this thing together quickly. I tried to cut it, but not to spend a whole bunch of time knowing exactly everything that was going on, because I figured that would be boring as well. But who knows? We've got the schematic. We can go ahead and learn the schematic. But this also means that, and you'll notice in the hotbar we have one of them. We have now the not the recipes, but the I don't remember the word for it, but it's in there. That will let us discover the Mars and Phobos and Deimos. Now that's where it wants us to go next, and we do need the tier 2 rocket to do that. So I think here I'm pulling up the recipe just so that I can show you what we need to collect, and it's nothing too difficult. It's just a bunch of hardened stuff. Heavy duty plates plus meteoric iron, boosters, rocket fins, which we've crafted before. Now we do need to craft a new rocket because we don't have something to disassemble things with. We will need to craft yellow wool, and we'll need to get a full fuel tank for our side boosters there. Thankfully, you don't have to refuel the side boosters, but in crafting them, you actually have to have them filled with fuel, which is interesting. But I'm sure we'll get into that in the next episode. And I think all that we're going to do to wrap this one up is discover the... so that's what I'm doing now. Is I'm going, hey, let's go look at our telescope and discover stuff on our map. So we're going to go ahead and pull those things in. And now because we have wireless charging, the nice thing is those batteries continue to discharge while they're in our inventory. So what am I doing? Yeah, plugging those in. Weirdly enough, though, the telescope will consume power even when it's not looking at anything. So that's kind of, it is what it is. But so we go ahead and, I realize, oh, no, it's losing stuff, but it's okay. We go ahead and put it research paper. That's what the term is. And it does maintain the progress, so it's not the end of the world. And at some point, we should probably just craft a better battery. But I am not a smart man. And there we go. So we've discovered Mars. Congratulations to us. We're going to discover Phobos. Congratulations to us. But yeah, I've been thinking that maybe we want to create kind of small little micro bases in a lot of different places. and that may be cooler than trying to say, okay, we're gonna make one of these areas our proper base. The challenge there, of course, is then you don't want to be having to go back and forth going, oh, where did I put the redstone? Oh, it's on Phobos. You don't want to end up in that sort of situation. So we would need to make sure that if that's what we end up doing, we're not going to end up miserable because we have too many resources scattered across a whole bunch of different areas. Remember this? Remember this from the first several episodes where, that just because there's not enough space around the cryogenic chamber, that boom, we get that little flickery thing where the camera goes in and out and in and out and in and out. We're looking here, and I can't figure out how to make the map work for a moment, but there is Mars, and that's fantastic news. We will discover as well that you can apparently build a space station around Mars as well. So there is, I thought there was just a space station to mention around the overworld, but apparently there's one around Mars. That could be something that we get from extra planets or something. I really don't know. What are you doing? Okay, so we're looking through all of this. Yeah, I guess I'm just talking through. So yeah, we go to Mars, and then after that we should go to, I think Venus is the next one, and then eventually Mercury. And you can see those ores sort of flickering, so it'll give you a sense of what we will find there. But next episode, our goal is going to be to craft up that Tier 2 rocket and make our way over to Mars, as well as improve our machinery a little bit. And I think that's probably what I'm talking about right now. Oh yeah, I think I'm looking at the Mars rover as well, because maybe it's hard to know, but I wonder if the Mars rover. Wait a second. Place the vehicle charging pad next to. That one looks like it's RF powered, which makes me optimistic that maybe, the Mars rover and Venus rover might actually be RF powered rather than fuel powered, which would make me feel more comfortable using them, because I don't want to set up. I don't want to be wasting our fuel doing that, because our fuel production is kind of lame right now. Oh, okay. I guess I'm saying goodbye to you. Cool. So I hope you enjoyed this director's commentary, and I will see you at a later time. Cheers.